Hello and welcome to the Daily Comic and Collectible, episode 246. Now today, the collectible of the day is the Kotobukiya Artfx Marvel Universe X-Men 92 animated series Cyclops and Jean Grey statues. In 1992, the Fox network revolutionized superhero comic adaptations with the groundbreaking animated X-Men series, featuring storylines pulled right from the pages of Marvel Comics. The series gained instant acclaim and is still popular to this day. I chose these two to showcase due to the comics selected. They were the perfect statues for this episode. These two figures join the Kotobukiya Artfx 1/10th scale statue collection with their classic animated looks. Here we have Cyclops on the offense, wearing his classic blue and yellow costume, complete with 90 straps and pouches, and he's captured perfectly in an iconic pose, leaning forward with arms back, preparing to unleash a massive optic blast at his enemies. Then we have Jean Grey, the strong telepathic mutant. Jean Grey becomes the powerful Phoenix in Phoenix Saga. The transformed mutant hovers in mid-air, borne aloft by the power of the Phoenix Force as it erupts in flames behind her. Here she wears the innocent and heroic version of the Phoenix costume, with green bodysuit and Firebird logo on the chest, with gold boots, gloves, and a waist sash. The flame effects shine with translucent yellow, orange, and red. The Jean Grey statue is sculpted by Kaina Masonu, and the Cyclops statue sculpted by Ikea Jitsukata. Cyclops stands 7 inches in height, while the majestic Jean Grey stands 9.5 inches in height. Created in 2018, imported from Japan, and created by Kotobukiya. Now, the comic of the day is X-Men, Volume 2, Issue 30, with a cover date of March 1994, with story by Fabian Nicieza, art by Andy Kubert, and cover by Andy Kubert. This issue is titled The Ties That Bind, and features the wedding of Scott Summers and Jean Grey, or Cyclops and Phoenix. This issue is pretty short and sweet, and more about the X-Men being a family first and foremost. We open with Jean getting ready for the ceremony and reads a letter from Wolverine, sent to her and Scott in his absence. If you'd like to read that letter, pause now. Meanwhile, Hank, Warren, Bobby, and Alex struggle to tie Scott's bow tie before Professor X arrives to finish the job, and lead them all outside. Shortly thereafter, the ceremony begins as Jean walks down the aisle with her father. After a short but sweet ceremony, she and Scott are married. As the reception begins, Sabretooth ponders causing trouble, but is dissuaded by an unseen figure. Later, the assorted friends and family members of Scott and Jean mingle and catch up amid the assorted wedding traditions. As the evening winds down, Jean pulls Professor X onto the dance floor and uses her telekinesis to share in a dance with him. Later, with the guests having retired to bed or Harry's hideaway for a nightcap, Scott says goodbye to Xavier on his way to the airport, thanking him for the life that he gave him, and telling Xavier that he loves him. As Scott leaves, Xavier finds himself, in the wake of the wedding, looking at the work before him and the people around him, with new eyes, just as he opens his own letter from Wolverine, telling him simply to lighten up. Geek Fact: there is a double-page spread anticipating Jean's walk down the aisle, showcasing the various guests in attendance. Notables include Artie and Leech, Joey and Galen, Jean's niece and nephew, Scott's grandparents, Quicksilver, Crystal and Luna, Banshee and Moira, and Kazar and Shauna. Bonus Geek Fact: Rogue catches the bouquet, and Gambit gets the garter, but they use their powers to get them, so technically it's cheating. Second bonus geek fact: Wolverine said he wasn't going to the wedding, but later confirmed in What If issue number 60, he's nearby watching in the woods. and it was also him that threatened Sabretooth. Third bonus geek fact. This issue came with 3 bonus 1994 Ultra Fleer trading cards fastened inside that combine for a connecting portrait. They are of Cyclops and Jean Grey Part 1, 2, and 3, and are still connected in my issue. And final geek fact. Strange but true, Captain Britain appears in this issue, despite being lost in time in Excalibur at the time. Well, I'd like to thank you for joining me for today's Daily Comic and Collectible, and I hope to see you again tomorrow. This is CatFan ComicsMan, and I'll catch you on the flip. Over and out.